Hi, welcome to Baking with Jay plus Dan.
I'm Jay.
I'm Dan, and today we're making gingerbread cutout cookies.
This is an awesome recipe. You can do it with whatever cookie shape you like. We've done it with snowflakes and candy canes. It's very versatile.
And today we're doing gingerbread people.
So let's get started. In your mixing bowl, you want to have 2 sticks of butter. Make sure it's unsalted and at room temperature. Next, we're going to have 3/4 cups of white sugar and 3/4 cups, the same amount of dark brown sugar. So you want to mix that for about 3 to 5 minutes until it's nice and fluffy. So our butter and sugar mixture is nice and fluffy. I'm going to give it a quick scrape. Let's get all that goodness from the sides into the bowl. Our next ingredient is going to be 1 large egg. Just pop that in and beat that again for another 2 to 3 minutes. Our egg is incorporated into our butter and sugar mixture, and now it's time to add some flavor and leavener. In here, I have 1 tablespoon of unsulphured molasses, along with 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 tablespoons of hot water. So just mix that up. You start to see some bubbles forming, and pour that into the mixture. And continue to beat another 2 minutes. Our molasses has gone in and incorporated. I'm just going to give it 1 quick scrape.
And it's time for the dry ingredients. In a separate bowl, we have 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour and a 1/2 cup of dark cocoa powder. I start to whisk that together to take out any lumps from the flour or the cocoa powder. Then add in your dry spices. These are all ground dry spices. I've been working all morning, laboring intensely. It's 1 tablespoon of dried ginger, 1 1/2 teaspoons of cinnamon, then a 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and just a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. So bring those together. Again, look for any lumps or clumps. And we'll stream that into the wet ingredients, just slowly adding in until it's incorporated.
And all the ingredients are listed right below, so you can just click down to see.
Here we go. Start the mixer on low, low, low.
Our dough is finished mixing. I'm just going to give it a quick scrape from the sides. And now it's time to form our dough.
Oh, look at this. It has a little sticky consistency, a nice smooth batter. Scrape it off the edge. Sometimes at the bottom, there'll be a little bit of dry flour still left. So just bring that in by hand and bring that out. Just drop it onto some plastic wrap. I've done double sheets here. Make sure you get every bit out of the bowl. And we'll form the batter into a little disc. Just bring the plastic wrap up, flatten it out. You'll see it's much easier to work with later when you go to roll it. Form that disc. Take any extra air out of the plastic wrap. We want to chill this for a couple of hours, and we'll pop it in the fridge and be back to show you how to roll and cut. So after the dough is nice and chilled, it takes about 2 hours at least. You can leave it overnight. I brought out half of the dough and started to roll it out here on a silicone sheet. So it's lightly floured. Take a layer of plastic over the dough and start to roll it from the center out into a nice long rectangle shape. So when you're nearing your desired thickness, just check with your hand. You can feel how even or uneven it is. I'm going to flip it over. Gather your plastic and your liner together. Flip it. Release from that silicone sheet. Give a light dusting onto the silicone sheet and maybe just a drop on the gingerbread. Okay, one more final roll and we'll be ready to cut. When you reach the desired thickness, today I went out to about 1/4 inch. Take your cutter and just start to cut out the little shapes. Dip the cutter in the flour, just tap off any excess. And with these large shapes, what am I getting here? 1, 2, 3, 6 cookies from this one round of rolling. So you'd have a dozen after you roll 2 halves. And then we would take this excess dough. Don't throw this away. Take all of your scraps. We'll have that to mold together with the other half and end up with another 6 cookies. Okay, so at this stage, the dough's a little too warm to just pop in the oven because you'll end up with these kind of flattened out shapes. So bring your excess dough together, save that for the next round, and then we'll cover this and put it in the freezer just for about another 5 minutes. We want them to hold their shape and the dough's just a little too warm to bake off right away.
Our dough has been chilling in the freezer, so they're nice and solid.
And if there's any excess flour, just take a little brush, knock the flour away from the edges.
This goes into a preheated oven, 350 degrees, and they bake anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes. Just make sure that you rotate them halfway through. Now that the cookies have completely cooled, it's time to decorate. I like to simply decorate it with some royal icing. I like to just use plain white. And to bump it up a little bit, I color it with some liquid whitener. But you can use whatever color you like. You can use red, green, pink, orange, yellow. I just like to keep it simple. And within the piping bag, it's topped with a number 4 round piping tip. Make sure that the royal icing is nice and stiff, because what you want to do is hold that border. So start at the base at 1 foot. Start to draw the outline. And then when you come back to the final point, just release and lift up. Now we're going to go in and do the buttons. Just pipe, circle, press, hold, release. Repeat again. And the last button. And that's gingerbread people. We're going to let this set up so that it hardens and it's ready to eat. And now it's time to dig in.
Dee, dee, dee. I feel like it needs a little theme song.
Of course, I started with the head part. I love the combination of the chocolate and the spices. Perfect for the holiday season.
It's a little crunchy on the back and a nice soft break in the middle. You've got to give this one a try. So thanks for watching. This has been Baking with J plus Dan. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.
And always remember to ring that bell.